Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'll be ranking and talking about Stranger Things characters. And I will be ranking these Stranger Things characters by how much aura they have. So I've been seeing all over the internet people just talking about aura and like matching aura points to like cool characters. And I thought I was just gonna give it a try with Stranger Things characters because I've been recently just rewatching the show to prepare for like the new season. And if you don't really know what aura is, I understand like what aura is, but I just can't really explain it that well. So the best way that I can describe aura to someone who doesn't really know what that means or what it is, it's just basically the vibe that somebody gives off or the energy that somebody gives off, like that vibe that people give off, you know? But yeah, I got all my Stranger Things characters right here on the screen. These are all the characters that I'm going to be ranking by aura, and I have all the aura points set up. It's going to be going up the top of 500,000 aura points because for some reason, like when it comes to aura points, people like have like the highest numbers for no reason. So 500,000, I thought it's a high enough number. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. First off, we got Mike. Now, if you ask me, Mike is not that cool of a character. I mean, I do gotta give him some points though because he did survive in the Upside Down, and he's been a very vital point in the show to finding out where the Demogorgons are and like what they're doing and just like knowing their location, you know? Just having that connection with all the villains in this entire show. I think I'm gonna give Mike some points for that, but he is not the coolest character. It's kind of awkward, kind of weird, but we're gonna give him some aura points. We're gonna put him in the 50,000 aura level. Next up, we have Erica. Now, me personally, I loved Erica's character. Erica has been a funny character ever since she like really got like a serious, true role in season 3. So I'm gonna give her some aura points for helping not Max, uh, Dustin, Steve, and Robin with their little Russian invasion. I'm also gonna give her some aura points just because she just has like this attitude of like being like on top of the world, like better than everybody else. So gotta give her some respect. But yeah, I'm gonna put her in front of Will in the 50,000 section. She's a cool character. I think she's actually a better character than the Will. Now, next up we have my favorite character in this entire show, Dustin Henderson. Dustin has been my favorite character like ever since I even started watching this show. And when you really think about it, he has had so many good moments in this show that can put him really, really high on this list. Like some of the few things that he did, like is like in season 1, he used the compasses to find the gate. And he also found all that chocolate pudding in his teacher's office, and that was such a funny scene to me.
Mike! I found the chocolate pudding!
In season 2, he found Dart, and he basically befriended a Demodog, which is actually insane. I'm also going to give him some aura points because he has the second highest score in his town. Like when it comes to certain games in the arcade, he has the second highest score, so we gotta give him some points for that. He also had the balls to literally trap Dart and just like scare him off somehow. But then again, Dart was like a very, very small, not that fully aged Demogorgon or Demodog, whatever, so it was kind of easy to scare him. Another reason why he gets aura points because he had the best look going into the snowball at the end of season 2. And then on top of that, he got to dance with a high school girl, but made all the girls that he had axed out and they rejected him jealous. There's so many other awesome moments that this guy has done. Getting a girlfriend made everybody down with him.
Girlfriend? Girlfriend?
Intercepting a Russian message from his Cerebro, and then leading that Russian invasion, and killing a Russian doctor, and contacting Susie for the code to ultimately save the world, kind of. And being on Eddie's side when everyone thought he was a freaking demon and a murderer. And then also fighting the Demobats with Eddie in season 4. That was like one of the coolest scenes ever. Especially like Eddie's guitar scene. Fire. So Dustin, I'm thinking he might go. He might be the first one to be put in the 250,000 aura point level. I gotta give him props. Some of the reason why I put him that high is kind of my bias, but honestly, he's a cool character. Like you can't even lie. Now we got Max. I feel like Max is actually a character who has a lot of aura. Like, in the beginning, from the jump, she was like this mystery girl, and she already had the highest score on some of the hardest games, like instantly, like it was nothing. So that was a freaking awesome moment for Max. And then by the end of season 2, finally standing up to Billy and stabbing him or injecting him with that freaking medicine that makes you go freaking asleep. And then in season 3, just giving Eleven a life, because let's be honest, she didn't really have one before she met Max. Also being at a constant battle with Vecna season 4, and she won most of the fights except for the final one where she got like cooked. But other than that, she was doing a really good job at staying alive after Vecna has been killing like multiple people. So we gotta give her props for that. And also being the only character in this show that skateboards, so that's freaking awesome. We're gonna put her like, I'm thinking like in front or behind Dustin. We're putting her behind Dustin. I'm sorry, it's my bias. Dustin's like one of my favorite characters of all time. Now, next up on the list, we have Robin. Some of Robin's best moments in this entire show, from being introduced in season 3, and also some of her best moments in season 4. Number 1, in season 3, she just was the only one who actually spoke a little bit of Russian and cracked the code. Like, that was one of the coolest scenes ever. Like, that whole like moment of her like figuring it out and noticing like all the things that are in this code are in the mall. W moment. Like, Robin was locked in during that time.
I cracked the code.
Also having the nerve to spit in a Russian guard's or sergeant's face. That was insane. I was not expecting her to do that when I saw her do it. My whole reaction was like, and I was like in disbelief. And also going into season 4, battling freaking Vecna with Steve and Nancy. Also going with Nancy to find Vecna's father, getting all that information and like standing up to that guy who just like didn't respect Nancy and Robin a lot, and still convincing him to let them go speak to Vecna's dad, basically. W moment. I'm gonna put her in, I'm thinking the 50,000 tier in front of everybody, or behind Max. We're bringing her behind Max, actually. I don't think that she deserves to be down here. Now moving on to one of the coolest characters in the show that we've gotten, who was short-lived, Bob. Bob the newbie superhero. Bob has to be like one of the most done wrong characters in this entire show. Like, he was done so dirty throughout the whole season, constantly being pushed away from Joyce because Will was having some Vecna or Demogorgon problems. And then at the end, after being such a cool, loving, and amazing character, they kill him. Like, what? But Bob has some awesome moments in this show. One of them being cracking the code and figuring out that whatever Will was drawing on those papers was a map of Hawkins. Starting the AV club at Dustin, Will, Lucas, and Mike's school. Also getting the power back on during the last moments in season 2. And having the speed and endurance and stamina to run away from a Demodog. Now, I know that sounds like a punk move, but like, those things are fast, and he was somehow moving faster. So with all that being said, I'm gonna put Bob like probably, he's Bob the newbie. I'm gonna put him right in between Erica and Mike. I think that's a good spot for Bob. Maybe some of you might think that he should be put higher, but not me. He was a cool character, but I don't think that he deserved any higher in this list. Moving on to Murphy, who is one of the best characters in this whole show. Also a very underrated character in this whole show, as he does not get that much recognition for what he does. Right off the bat, we have to give him some type of aura points because he was right all along. And we knew that he was right all along. And what I'm talking about is being right about somebody with magical powers in Hawkins and still alive. And all of it being the source at Hawkins' lab. Like, he was right about all of it. Everyone clowned him for it. He didn't care. He kept pushing, and you gotta give him props for that. Like, he was not gonna stop until he proved I'm right. And he did. At the end of season 2, he's just sitting there laughing and waving at the guards like,
I'm smart, you're dumb. I'm big, you're little. I'm right, you're wrong. And there's nothing you can do about it.
We also gotta give him props for helping Nancy, with her little story about exposing Hawkins' lab. We're also gonna give him props for, in season 3, helping Hopper and Joyce with Smirnoff or Alexei. Also befriending Alexei and, being his, like, American little friend, right? Oh yeah, also giving him aura points because he can speak Russian. We're gonna give him aura points for, posing as a Russian person in season 4 and getting into the base trying to free Hopper, holding a Russian guy at gunpoint. Cool moment. And at the time, that's all I could think that he has done currently. So with all that being said, I think that puts him. Gosh, no. We're gonna put him. Yeah, we're gonna put him in front of Robin. I feel like he's done more than Robin did, and yeah, yeah. Oh, we're gonna put him in front of Max as well. Yeah, he's staying there. He's not going in front of Dustin. Anyways, now we got the first person who might be at the top of this list, 11 or Elle or Jane, whatever you want to call her. 11 is one of the coolest, if not the coolest person in this entire show, and she most definitely has a buttload of aura. Some of the few things: season 1, escaping Hawkins' lab, killing like millions of Hawkins like guards, and season 2, taking down the Mind Flayer, closing the gate. Back to season 1, destroyed the Demogorgon, killed him, sent it back to the Upside Down. Also in season 1 or season 2, whatever, she escaped the Upside Down. I forgot exactly how. No, she just found the portal and she escaped. She ran away. Also, season 2, living on her own, trying to find a place to call home.
Okay, I see what you did there.
Also in season 2, running away, finding her quote-unquote sister, and enhancing her powers in a way, just strengthening them, being with her, and, hunting down the guy who basically, quote-unquote, and no, not really quote-unquote, tortured her mother, hunting that guy down, but also showing him mercy because he had children and a wife and whatnot. Moving on to season 3, where she finally got a life because of Max, and also she took down the Mind Flayer to an extent, controlled him for a second there during that moment when they were all in the cabin and they were being attacked by the Mind Flayer. And also in season 3, standing up to Billy and beating the crap out of him. But she did get hit pretty hard by the guy a few times. It was not an easy fight for her. That's all I'm going to say. Then moving on in season 4, she just got her powers back. But also in season 4, this moment that's just, every time I watch it, I just cringe. When she tries to use her powers on the girl who was bullying her in high school. Just roll the clip.
Angela!
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Watching that scene hurts me. It hurts me. It's so embarrassing. It's like secondhand embarrassment. It's hard to watch. But she regained some aura points by getting her powers back, fighting Vecna, and being the original person who sent Vecna, aka, what's his name? Is his name like Victor? It's not Victor, is it? Whatever. Aka whatever, to the Upside Down and whatnot. So yeah, that puts Elle at a very high spot. Maybe she might go at 500,000, or she might go at 350,000. We're putting her at 500,000. First person to get the highest aura points. I mean, she kind of deserves it. Now we're moving on to Joyce, and I think Joyce is also another underrated character. And she has done a lot of things in this show. Season 1, being the only one besides Will's friends who believed that Will was alive, until she proved that he was alive to everybody. To everybody. So you gotta give her props for that, just for like not losing hope that her son's like dead. Even when she saw his quote unquote body, she knew it wasn't him because she saw the real him, Like, you couldn't convince her that her son was not alive. Like, there was no convincing her. Also, saving her son at the end of season 1. Now let's move on to season 2. Doing everything that it took, even if it hurt her a little bit, to get the Mind Flayer out of Will. I can promise you that the things that she had to do to get the Mind Flayer out of Will, she did not want to do. Like, it didn't look like she was enjoying what she was doing during the scene. And honestly, I felt really bad for her that she had to do it. But hey, it worked at the end of the day. She got her son back, so props to her. Also in season 3, telling Hopper that some type of evil is back in Hawkins, whether it's the Hawkins lab again or something else. Maybe another monster or whatever, Also aiding Hopper in stopping the Russian invasion, or stopping the Russians from completely and totally opening the gate once again, which would have been a dumb move by the Russians. I don't know why they would even try to do that. Anyways, season 4, believing and being the only one with hope that Hopper was still alive. Like, she is the constant character who just like has hope that her loved ones, who she presumed or who everyone presumed was dead, the only person who has ever had hope that, nope, they're alive. And convincing everybody that they actually are alive and proving everybody right that they are alive, you know? Will and Hopper, prime examples. Everyone thought that they were dead. They're alive. Biggest shock of the century, right? And also, all those times she just yelled at people to get her way, like the time she yelled at Murphy about all the things that she's been doing, or all the things that's going on in her week. Like, all those times she just constantly yelled at somebody. Like, I'm gonna give her some points for that. So with all that being said, I'm putting her like the first person in the 350 category. Actually, maybe in front of Dustin or behind Dustin. Actually, no, we're gonna put her on top of here because I feel like she kind of deserves it. Anyways, now we move on to Eddie, who's only had a few good scenes in season 4. Yeah, he's only had a few good scenes in season 4. You know, being, I guess, a new person to look up to for Dustin. Gotta give him props for that, I guess. I mean, he's been a kind of a punk through this entire season, you know, running away from everybody. But then again, I can't really blame him. Like, they're probably gonna kill him if they find him. So, but I'm gonna give him a lot of aura points for the ending that he had. Whole guitar scene. That guitar scene will never get old. Every time I watch it, I get chills. It's amazing. And then sacrificing himself, being the hero that he never thought he can be, and drawing the Double Bats away from Nancy, Dustin, all those guys, and having their center of attention on him. W moment. Like, what a crazy scene to see from another beloved character that we all know and love just to die at the end. Like, it's actually really sad.
It's enough to make a grown man cry.
But, you know, he's Eddie. He's a very loved character by the Stranger Things community, I guess. And it makes me want to put him, like, in the 350,000 aura category. You know what? I'm going to do it because of that guitar scene. That was amazing. That was amazing. I don't care. So, yeah, guys, I had to stop the video right there because the video was getting too long and I can't export the whole thing, so I had to split it into 2 parts. Part 2 will be coming out soon, so stay tuned for that. And before we end this video, I just want to give a shout out to another YouTuber, an up-and-coming YouTuber called Jasper News. You guys, go over there, show some love to this creator. He has been grinding on this app for very long, and he is still grinding, and I appreciate it. And he'd probably appreciate it if y'all go over there and show him some love. He's a really great YouTuber, and I truly believe that he has potential to become one of the greats on this app. But yeah, that'll be all for today's video. Make sure to subscribe, comment, share, and turn on the post notifications so that you can notify when I post a new video. And without further ado, I'll see you on my next one. Peace!